lovely morning it is today. You're very much welcome to Signature Morning here on Signature TV. Today is Wednesday, the 12th day of November 2025. How are you?
I think it's more of what a wonderful morning to be alive.
Yes, what a wonderful day to be alive. What a wonderful morning to be alive.
Okay, good morning, Uche. Good morning, our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a date from 8 a.m. to join us on the breakfast show on Signature TV. And of course, we have a whole lot lined up to talk about today. And we hope we do justice to all of it in just a little amount of time. And, you know, without further ado, we know so many things have been happening in the political landscape. I'm talking about PDP now.
It seems that
when I was younger, if you asked me to mention political parties, I could say PDP, because I knew no other. So it's really funny that at this point, the giant in the political space is crumbling.
It's crumbling massively. I mean, from the beginning, there's been a lot of internal divisions among the party members, and then the defection started happening. Almost everybody moving from PDP to APC and even to ADC, the coalition party. And the most current one now is this issue of their convention that is supposed to hold, but, you know, scheduled for November 15th and 16th. But there seems to be a lot of back and forth, court orders here and there as to if, I mean, it's so sad to see such a powerful party having all
and
these
it brings me to this question of, will APC be like this in the future?
Thank you. You know, I was thinking of that this morning. I was like, if a party like this could come down to this level, what about the other parties? I mean, anything could happen at any time.
I mean, looking at Nigeria, known as the giant of Africa, are we still the giant of Africa?
I think that's a question for another day. But it's a pleasure to have you join us. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Quinsley Rowland.
Up next is newspaper headlines and review. Well, let's take a look at what's trending on the newspaper headlines this morning, starting with the Punch newspaper. And on the headlines on page 2, House shuts down plenary amid tension over budget, with rider over 45 bills reports stalled. Reps grumble over inadequate funding during 10th closed-door session.
Okay, and looking at the PDP crisis deepens as Abuja court halts convention. And this is on the page 14 of the Punch newspaper.
Tinubu governors Sultan grace editors conference today. And on page 27, World Bank is saying that only 44% of social benefits reach poor Nigerians.
Okay, and of course this one made the headline. Tension as Wike and soldier clash over ex-naval chief's land. I think that video has been making rounds on social media. And afterwards we have NDLEA, US, UK unravel 338 billion naira global cocaine network.
Wow, that's
a lot.
On the Vanguard newspaper, the headline says Trump diplomatic engagement yielding results, says federal government.
Okay, and we've approved duty-free importation for aircraft spare parts, says Kayamo.
No governor can complain of poor funding under Tinubu. This is coming from Sanwo-Olu.
Okay, still under the PDP crisis, Lamido secures another court order stopping convention. And this convention is supposed to hold this month.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Now, on the Anambra poll, Soludo deputy received certificate of return from INEC. You can find that on page 11. Okay,
so we have Edun Plage's review of capital gains tax to boost investor confidence, and this is on the page 19. Okay, so Tinubu's reforms winning North, says Badaru Ayim Arewa think tank. Okay, so I think over to the next newspaper.
Let's look at the Guardian newspaper, and we're still seeing PDP ambition, legal battles stall PDP convention, threatening 2027 prospects.
Okay, and we have genocide. Nigerians urge Tinubu to harder on terrorists and bloodshed, and this is on the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper.
NAFDAC outlaws production, sale of sachet alcoholic beverages, and FG moves to ban single-use plastics.
So we have Amechi Ezekwesili ask Nigerians to hold politicians accountable, urge electoral system overhaul, and this is on the page 3.
Senate rebukes NMPC, rejects explanation on unaccounted 210 trillion naira.
And also we have federal government may suspend planned CGT over market concerns. And as well as Wike military officers field over disputed FCT property.
Finally, on the Guardian newspaper, anxiety as investors lose 4.6 trillion naira in equity single, largest post-COVID daily loss.
And over to the next newspaper, Daily Trust, the last but not the least, boldly written is no going back on convention from the PDP. And afterwards, we have 48 hours to World Cup playoff, and this is from the Sports Super Eagles boycott training.
Travelers spend hours on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. 2 killed as Katsina communities protest over bandits attacks.
Okay, and we have from the stock market loses 4.6 trillion naira, highest in decade.
And why senators wanted to impeach Akpabio.
Okay, so that's the most we can take from our newspapers, from our dailies today. And over to our newspaper review, we have Chris Maduka, the Oracle. He's here in the studio with us to dissect these things that we have read so far and also know what he thinks about it. Good evening, Chris. Good morning, Chris.
It seems your time. You're still operating in.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Wednesday, good morning, Uche. And good morning, people of the world. Anyway, I don't have grudges. Once good is in it, I take whether it's morning or night. So it's good. And you also saw that I'm going to try to dissect. I wish I have the dissecting equipment that the doctors and the surgeons they use to dissect issues. Nigerian issue is complex, whether it's acute, chronic, or endemic.
The chronic one now is this issue in PDP about the convention that is supposed to hold on the 15th and 16th of November. That's this month. And we are still having series of court cases back and forth just so they disrupt this convention from happening. What's your thought on that?
I am not even bothered about convention. I'm bothered about Nigerian legal system. The dance, naked dance of the judiciary, it's not only shameful, but it is disgraceful and it doesn't make for stability in the nation. A court in Ibadan say, hey, go for convention. Court in Abuja say, hey, don't go. One nation, different court system and different court judgments, one NJC. And you say Nigeria is moving forward. Before you know it, another court will say, go. Another one will say, well, so, and there will be confusion. PDP is the bad cook that cooked that soup that made the lizard to lose all his teeth. PDP telofe ngweleji alachakweze. If PDP has not fetched fire, anti-infested firewood, they would not. You know, my father said, Okoti Apo the lizard said, if he doesn't behave and show the children that he's Okoti Apo the lizard, they will chop him, both in dry season and rainy season. Okoti Apo Megiho Okoti Apo, Umazi, no coaching of them. PDP is being eaten like peanuts. They throw it in their mouth by judiciary because they brought this confusion on themselves. So leave PDP alone. That is not the end of it. They're supposed to have convention, you said this week. And this one somewhere is saying, who is the PDP? They say PDP. The other one who said who went to court and stopped them. But now it's PDP. They say we must go to. Don't you see confusion in this country? And if eventually these people insist on holding convention, you know what will happen? You know. So leave matter for Matthias. Okay. Since PDP has decided to toe the path of confusion, they invited it all. So let them sort it out.
Now, we are seeing that Wike and soldiers clash over ex-naval chief's land. Some newspapers call it land grabbing, alleged land grabbing in Abuja.
You know that because of confusion in a nation, certain things will be happening, people will forget to see the truth and how things supposed to work. And then we'll be turning around talking about another thing. If the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, who represents the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, is on site visit, and he felt that some lands in Abuja has been acquired over time illegally by some people, and is on reclamation tour or move. If you are sure you have gotten your land, acquired it legally, you come to his office and prove. It will be big man talk to big man. What happened that it went viral on video about Nigeria? It's another shameful dance of people in authority versus authority, and then the common people are laughing. It just shows that we are helpless. We don't have any protection. Anything could have happened there. Now, when the minister cannot even hold his position as minister, and an army officer has been put there saying he's acting on order. Now, the question with the common Nigerian they've not asked, and this dance of shame, is who gives the authority? Whose authority are we following? And remember, we are in the civilian regime. That the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, despite whatever person holding that position is, whatever we think about him, he's still the minister representing the federal government. Now, if an army officer can challenge him and talk to him the way he's responding, despite the one that he even at this level, some of the things that were recorded that came out of his mouth were unprintable. I'm not going towards that, but when we talk about a minister speaks, then you have an issue, you follow the appropriate authority. And if you are insulted or you felt, because that truncation or whatever you call it, exchange, is not necessary. And that's why the man was feeling that I am not respected. So he began to say something that sounds like insult to the army man. Some people said the army officer is bold and all that. It can happen any day to anybody. Anybody could be Minister of Federal Capital Territory. So when you see chicken scattering shit with their leg, pursue that chicken because you don't know who will eat the leg when it's cooked. That is the issue of Nigeria. When we see evil, we will be dancing around it. Maybe you have an issue with Chris Marika, the one shouting on newspaper review. So if any issue around me, say, leave that idiot who has been shouting there. Let him go and suffer. He won't look at the morality, the good, the balance of it, whether I'm right or wrong. You already passed. That's the issue that's happened there. But when the chips are down, the army officer would have respected the minister. And there's certain things they've allowed the dance of naked in the era of social media, they should have stopped it. Somebody recorded it and posted it.
Chris, would you say the only reason why this officer was so bold was because he was in his uniform? If he was a mere civilian, would he have taken a different turn?
Whether you are in uniform or not, some people gave the uniform to wear. An authority in Nigeria made you to wear the uniform. The same authority can say remove the uniform. So the same person doesn't need to wear authority. The person going there wears a uniform of minister of Federal Capital Territory, and he controls Abuja territory. Whether you have a barrack, the barrack in Abuja is under his territory. So if he's the Minister of Federal Capital Territory and you have barracks, and you are an officer, you're coming from a barrack to come, there should be a way to balance of what power starts, where it ends. It's an error. What it means tomorrow, if he had been the President of the Federal Republic, and the young man will say, I am acting authority, who gives the authority? Where did the authority come from, and where does it get to? And who tells, even the man who gave you authority was given authority by somebody. So if we do not know the hierarchy of how authorities come, then we'll give useless power to some unscrupulous and disrespectful officers. They will use it as I'm given authority. So even if they say if you pass, I shoot you, I was given authority. But when you see certain authority, you bow. So if assuming that land is illegally acquired, and you carry an army officer put there, the federal ministry, I'm saying, assuming, even if it's rightly owned, the fact he was there that the man came here and said, oh, there's nothing they will do, nobody will carry land there for head. You only, what they will do, the federal will only put a red ribbon that this land is, you know, you go back to the office and say, this is my paper, what do we do? Then they will sort it out. That dance of shame is another move to show Nigeria there's no law. Once you have grabbed the power enough to harass the next man, you'll be doing like this. But that shows Nigeria is not at home. How many times have I said, Uche will be with me? Nigeria, the way we are going, and people are dancing, and making viral video, and people are saying, hey, this officer is Wike is talking. We are just missing one by one, and we are laughing. That is building on very fragile foundation for our future. Children will watch it and see an army officer. The wrong thing is once you're an army officer, you can harass anybody. And that is the wrong precedent to set.
Okay, so as on the Vanguard paper, we have Trump, the diplomatic engagement yielding results, and this is said by the federal government.
When you look around, I said it yesterday, when you look around, I wish Trump had declared Nigeria a country of concern last 9 years. Probably the kind of people, the number of Nigerians we've lost, probably been cut by half. What we tell those people, their souls are still crying. Probably it's the peak. I keep saying, I am very spiritual in certain issues. Is that the peak, the soul of innocent Nigerians has cried so much to God that he has to raise Trump. And you see any of the international community leaders who are, they hooked their conduit pipe and sucking Nigeria dry, even when we are dying, has not made any statement. Whether they said they call it genocide or killings. No international community has spoken on their behalf. They didn't even say whether you are killing pagans. They are Nigerians. They said, stop! And we went and be talking trash, and we're not ashamed. Somebody spoke in the federal government as, since the Trump statement, federal government has given insecurity in Nigeria a lot of attention, and we have seen some results.
But even with the attention, we are still seeing communities still being ravaged
so
by
what would you notice?
Bandits.
What would have happened if this has not happened? Is it not every day? You have sat here almost in the last 2 years, reading out numbers. But even with this, since this Trump thing, those numbers didn't reduce. We are not saying that certain problem will be eliminated over time. It's not a magic thing. It's not like that. We still have people who are merchants of debt. In Nigeria, they call them terrorists and bandits and kidnappers and all those people. They trade on debt of people, the pain of our people. When you want to stop them, there must be some things they will do to show that they are still there. But along the line, the power, the superior power will take. And that's truth. Truth will always be the superior power. This thing that Trump has just said has shocked Nigeria into reality. That is only my stand. How it ends, the diplomatic people who have been chopping money, earning salaries, and big position and things that go with it as diplomats should go and sort it out. Because in a big palace like Nigeria, you should have diplomats. You have prayer warriors and religious leaders. You have lawyers. You have even fighters. Like the army man who is harassing Wike. These are the time when we need them. They should go to the front to defend the territory. He was not given uniform to defend territory in Abuja. He didn't defend territory. Abuja is not under, Wike is not accumulating Abuja. Rather, some corrupt politicians have taken over Abuja land and they are fighting back when you want to reclaim them. If you have your papers, go to it. At least if your paper is given to you on an area of land where the federal government should, they make they will give you an exchange if that area is a reserve area for federal government. But you know that Abuja master plan has been so much messed up. Let me not mix issue. But that is what is happening with the issue of threats and security in Nigeria. Something is happening now. Some people are talking those. I keep saying, Those who are benefiting from the sweat and blood of Nigerians and death of millions of Nigerians are the ones who are afraid. All of us that have spoken this have said, hey, thank God somebody has come to rescue Nigeria.
Now, the Punch newspaper was saying that the House shuts down plenary amid tension over budget. They're saying over 45 bills have been stalled. Reps are grumbling over inadequate funding during their closed-door meeting.
This is the first time we are seeing it. They're getting a lot of our salary. So if they don't have enough to operate, they should be spending their salary until they refund them. I keep saying, I've not had, and I've been shouting it, I wanted them to challenge it. Let the National Assembly tell us how much they're earning. If they're earning up to 29 million naira a month, they shouldn't be bothered about other little things they give them to operate in NAS. Now another angle of it is, if the National Assembly have stored 45 bills since we sent them there, 45 bills have been stored because they don't have enough money to operate. You ask me, how much you need to operate and push one bill to pass one bill? That means sitting around there saying I, and every time they say I, money pass, that's the operation. Because I know they need money to operate. But for 45 bills to have been stored because of budgetary operational expenses, even National Assembly, that will tell you the rich also cry. That will tell you what then? Where is the hope? Because them that are there, we are jealous. Everybody will, you know, what will happen in Nigeria now is that most of the people who go to church to pray, you now will be praying that they say, Pastor, pray that when my son grow up or my child grow up, you'll be a senator or a federal house of rep in Nigeria. These are prayer points to some people. And they are now turning back and saying, they don't even have money to operate it. Very soon they will say that they don't supply the newspaper, they don't give them sitting allowance, all this. And they are the people who are supposed to lead by example and said, we are going through these pains. If we are asking the ASU to sacrifice, asking the resident doctor to sacrifice, asking the teachers, asking what are the National Assembly members sacrificing that they cannot push 45 bills with all their, or what it seems as their high level of remuneration they get from just going to sit in one place for a few hours every day and some days in a week. They are bold to tell us this. Nigeria is not at home.
If we are going to be talking about the finance aspect, Nigeria's debts may hit 193 trillion naira with the new loans. Let's keep in mind that the president had applied earlier for another loan, and this is actually rolling us into higher debt. What do you have to say about it?
That is, once you hear about debt, consider it that it has been borrowed. When you hear that federal government mauls the idea, you don't think, consider that the money has been borrowed. So when they talk about it, I'm just telling you as a Nigerian who has grown up here, this figure you are seeing has already been registered by NBS as because the money will be borrowed. There is nothing Nigerians will tell them. Because if National Assembly, before the president woke up and said, I had a dream. He said, sir, what? I said, I had a dream that I borrowed 200 billion trillion. Sir, your dream has fulfilled. Go ahead. That's the kind of Senate and Federal House of Reps we have. Which loan in this era has the National Assembly has not approved. They don't even, if it is